Let me guess, you spend so much time scrolling on Instagram or on YouTube or on TikTok, just whiling away time, or you spend so much time procrastinating when you should have been doing the research you needed to do to be able to apply for that scholarship or that new job or work on your new projects. Whatever it is, the bad news is nobody's coming to save you. But the good news is you can reparent yourself and inspire yourself and motivate yourself and take action to become the best version of yourself. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the ways in which you can reparent yourself in order to become your best self and achieve the things you really and truly want to achieve. At the end of the video, I'll be sharing with you a really useful resource I created, which would help you take practical steps to becoming your best self. So I'll be sharing that with you at the end of the video. The truth is, not all of us were fortunate enough to have tender love and care from our parents, or to have our parents coax us into doing certain things, or even just be there to guide us. Whether you had parents who were there with you and for you throughout the whole period, or unfortunately did not have your parents there for you, this video is for you, because no matter what it is, as an adult, you do not have your parents there with you all the time to guide you. We don't have anyone looking out for us, or we don't have anyone picking up the pieces, or anyone giving us directions as to what to do and what not to do. And that is why parenting yourself is very important. Now let's clarify what it means to parent yourself. Parenting yourself basically means being there for yourself and doing the things for yourself that you would have otherwise had an adult play for you or do for you. So the role an adult plays in your life or would have played in your life is what you're doing for yourself. So the concept of parenting yourself or self-parenting is basically about you raising yourself and becoming your best self and guiding yourself through the things that you really want, be it your finances, be it your mental health, be it your emotional well-being, be it career-wise, be it self-care, be it self-love. All of these things are things that you need to shower yourself with. So I am big on this idea of doing these things for yourself, because let's face it, no one is there to save you. Like, no one is literally thinking about you. Maybe people think about you every once in a while, but like to sit down and think about you actively and think about how they can make you do what you have to do to become your best self, everyone is having their own back, and you need to have your own back. So I'm gonna start with the first thing that you need to do if you really want to parent yourself properly. And I want to focus on setting boundaries. The first thing you ought to do if you want to parent yourself is to be able to set limits for yourself. I watched a TED Talk by Mel Robbins, and I have referenced Mel Robbins, this particular TED Talk, once or twice, and the title of the TED Talk is How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over. In that TED Talk, Mel Robbins basically talks about how no one is coming to ask you to do what you have to be doing. As an adult, no one is coming to say wake up early, no one is coming to tell you eat healthy food, no one is coming to tell you work out, no one is coming to tell you clean your room, no one is coming to tell you apply for that job. You have to parent yourself. You have to parent yourself. You have to parent yourself. I need to repeat that because it is essential if you want to be able to thrive and be able to tap into your fullest self and be your best self. So the first point is to set boundaries. Setting boundaries is in two layers. First, you set boundaries with yourself, and the next is to set boundaries with other people. So the boundaries that you set with yourself include the things that you said you're no longer going to do, the people you said you're no longer going to hang out with, the habits that you said you're going to inculcate or let go. Every single thing that you've told yourself that you're going to do is up to you, and it's up to you to enforce those boundaries. Stop yourself from doing the things that you said you wouldn't do, and do the things that you want to do. Likewise, you need to enforce boundaries with other people, and that's also very important to help you protect yourself. And the reason I'm making this the first point is because I sincerely feel like the major problem that a lot of us have when it comes to taking care of ourselves is just because we let people into our lives who do not serve us, people who make us feel less about ourselves, people who make us question our self-worth, people who make us feel like we're not good enough for certain things. And if you feel that way, then you're likely to begin to act in a certain way that doesn't serve you, or not even do all of the other things that you ought to be doing to become your best self. So in terms of reparenting yourself, imagine as a child, when we're young, your parents will stop you from playing with certain kids, or they'll tell you, don't go out at this time, don't hang out with these kids because of ABC, don't go to this neighborhood maybe, or whatever it is. Your parents would tell you not to do that. As an adult, that is called boundaries. You need to enforce boundaries and be able to tell yourself the things that you need to not do, and not just like be rolling free like that, like every single night you're here, the next day you're there, the next time you're here. It doesn't really help you. Let's just be 100% honest with it. So you need to set boundaries, whether it is in your habits, whether it's the places that you go. I would go deep into this, but I want you to know that whatever it is that you're doing, boundaries are not just about enforce things that you enforce with other people, but there are things that you enforce within yourself. So make sure that you set boundaries with yourself. If you respect yourself enough, you will set some boundaries to yourself, and those boundaries would help you. Those would set a very good foundation for you to be able to now do all of the other things that would help you really and truly parent yourself well. What I'm about to say right now is what inspired me to record this video, because it is incredibly important if you want to parent yourself or reparent yourself. Do you remember the last time someone called you and said, hey, it's 5 a.m, wake up, you have to go to work? Or hey, you haven't worked out in a while, you need to go to the gym? Or hey, I don't see a lot of greens on your plate, you need to eat more vegetables? Or even something as little as, your shoes are dirty, do you want to clean them? That is to say that no one is coming to tell you to do the things that you need to do, no matter how difficult they are, or even if they're as easy as just wiping your shoes. Self-discipline is the key to parenting yourself as an adult, because no one is coming to tell you to do the things that you need to do, because everyone is so involved in their own life than just thinking about you. So if you want to be a very good person who does what they have to do to become their best self, you need to do the hard things. You need to be able to push yourself. You need to practice self-discipline. And self-discipline comes in a lot of different ways. Is it consistency? Are you building a routine? Are you sort of getting an accountability partner? If you know that at the beginning is so hard for you, what are you going to do to make sure that you are on track? So build self-discipline, and self-discipline is the root of all of the things that you want to achieve, because nothing comes to you on a silver platter. If you're waiting for someone to come to you and say, hey, you haven't applied for that job, you probably should start writing that essay. No one is coming, and you know that. I'm not just saying it, you know no one is coming. So it is up to you to start doing the work. Are you starting a new are you going to have a new sleep schedule? Are you going to start a new morning routine? What is your plan? Are you going to check in with yourself at the end of every week to be sure that you have done the things you need to do? What is your plan? What is your plan? And I would like, so imagine if you go to work, or when you go to work, your boss would ask you probably, what are your goals for this quarter? What do you want to achieve? What is the plan? You need to check in with yourself. And even if you check in with yourself, the only way you can really do it and achieve it is if you're disciplined. So self-discipline is the key, right? Because as an adult, no one is coming to tell you to do the things you need to do. No one is coming to tell you brush your hair, brush your teeth. Kids are told to do that by their parents. No, you're not going to get that. Unfortunately, we all wish we had that somewhat, but you're not getting that. So I think this point is well established. Start setting routines, start building things, plans that would help you push yourself to become your best self, and build a lot of self-discipline. Well, the next point is be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, because just as your parents will show you lots of compassion and kindness, you have to do that for yourself. Whether you got it from your parents or not, you have to do that for yourself. I am very mindful that not everyone watching this video would have had all of that kindness, all of that compassion, all of that TLC, the tender love and care from their parents. And that is the reality of life. Not all of us had that. But whether or not you had it, you have to show yourself that kindness, that love, that compassion. Show up for yourself the way you show up for people, or show up for yourself more than you show up for people in terms of how much care and kindness you show yourself. A lot of us, including myself, have been, and this is something I'm working on, have been very focused on being kind to everyone around us, and just forgetting that kindness is something we can show ourselves. So be kind to yourself, learn to trust yourself and forgive yourself, and show yourself that compassion. One of the ways you can do that is the easiest ways that you don't even need to pay for is positive self-talk. Speak to yourself kindly, and speak to yourself with respect. I think that's also really important, because we tend to respect other people, be nice to people, but then when it comes to you, if you were to go through your head and just listen to the conversations you're having with yourself, man, yeah, you probably, even if you had to write that to yourself, you'd know that this is something you never say to anyone else, but you say it to yourself. So be kind to yourself, even if it isn't just buying yourself something nice, if it is speaking to yourself nicely, if it is making yourself a very nice meal. Protect yourself, show yourself that compassion, and being kind to yourself also means not putting yourself in situations, dangerous situations, or situations where you're not being valued, situations where you end up being, your confidence is crushed, your self-worth is crushed. Don't put yourself in those situations. One final thing I'd say about being kind to yourself is being intentional about the process of being kind to yourself. And one of the ways you can do that also is by speaking positively to yourself and listening to affirmations. Affirmations are a huge part of my mornings these days. So I have positive affirmations, which I have shared in one of my other videos that I listen to. I have two of my favorite affirmations are one which is affirmations for Black women, and it basically says things along the lines of, I am a beautiful Black woman, I am whole, I am wholeness, I am complete as I am, I love myself unconditionally, there is nothing that I lack. That's one of my favorite affirmations. There's another affirmation which is affirmations for positivity and self-worth, which I listen to a lot as well. I just listen to it and I say to myself, I am confident in myself and my worth, or I am confident in myself and my values. So find what you find is suitable to you. I mean, outside of these affirmations, I have my own affirmations that I say to myself at a certain point in time, and I have a reminder on my phone that reminds me to say them. So speak to yourself positively, and if you are not sure, or you know that you're not used to doing that, set a timer on your phone, set a reminder on your phone, and remind yourself to speak to yourself positively. The next way you can reparent yourself is to seek knowledge. This is, for some reason, I feel very excited saying that, because seeking knowledge is just that one thing that can take you miles than you ever thought you would get. It would take you light years than you ever thought you would get. It would elevate you to another level, and seeking knowledge would make you feel very confident because of the information you have. It would make you enter certain rooms that you never thought you could get into. It would make you more creative, or it would make you explore certain things that you never really thought you could explore, whether it is by reading books, signing up for conferences, attending live webinars, taking up a new course, applying for higher education. Seek knowledge. And I'm big on education on this platform, and you may know this already. I am big on formal education and informal education. I talk a lot about self-education, and I talk a lot about scholarships. So if that's your vibe and you like this kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button to join the family, and you're most welcome. So I think that education is huge if you want to do that. But then again, there's so many different free resources that you can use, from Duolingo to learn a language, to Khan Academy to learn new subjects and fields, to Coursera, to Skillshare, to different platforms that would help you get very good information. And if you seek knowledge, that's very important. I also do encourage you to try and attend in-person events. So try and attend events like conferences, seminars, networking events. Just go around and see like what it's like, who are you meeting, what conversations are they having. Because if you do not do this a lot, you're likely to be very comfortable in your space, especially if you're not interacting with people a lot. You are likely to get comfortable. So the point is seek knowledge, and if you do that, it would really help you. But not only seeking knowledge, but applying knowledge. So I hope that this is useful, because again, when you seek knowledge, it enriches your conversations. Like when you speak, and you speak from a place of confidence, and a place of knowledge, a place of um being certain. So you speak from a place of certainty in terms of what it is that you are sharing. So if you're trying to reparent yourself, no one is coming to tell you that you should take that course. No one is coming to tell you to sign up to that seminar or whatever, but you have to parent yourself, so you have to seek knowledge. One of the things that our parents did not really teach us, which I want you to be able to do, and which I am also working on, is financial literacy. Schools do not teach us this. A lot of families do not teach this. So in order to reparent yourself, this is a core. If you don't want to go, this is a core thing that you need to learn. If you don't want to go hungry, if you don't want to go broke, if you don't want to go homeless, hopefully not, it doesn't ever get there. But financial literacy is key if you want to be able to parent yourself and take care of yourself, because the core responsibility of a parent is to nurture you, is to be able to pour into you, is to feed you, is to nourish you, is to provide you shelter. And whether or not you had this from your parents, it is your responsibility to do that for yourself. And you ought to do this through financial literacy. And this is something that unfortunately schools do not teach us, our parents do not teach us, or our families do not teach us. And we have to navigate this life and navigate finances when we have no idea of finances. So look into it, look into savings, look into investments, stocks, and stuff like that. Teach yourself the rudiments of financial well-being or financial stability. If you have to take a course, do it. If you have to watch videos on YouTube, do it. If you have to learn from a coach, do it. Just try and get knowledge in terms of your finances. The next thing is one that is inevitable. It's inevitable because you definitely need this for yourself, and that is prioritizing your mental health and well-being. We live in a messy world. We live in a world where there's a lot of trauma dumping. We live in a world where everyone is on the run, they're on the go, no one is thinking about anyone else. We live in a world where people don't really care about people and the comments they leave on social media. We live in a world where people are likely to unleash their own burdens on you in a way that you think you're the problem when they really are just the problem. So you have to try and protect your mental health. I literally had a situation this year that made me run to therapy. I'm not going to let this thing burden me. I am going to deal with this. So whether or not you have access to therapy, I need you to know that your mental health is vital. Just as you take care of your physical health, take care of your mental health. When you go to like a situation, or when you have a situation that you realize that does not serve you, it is okay to remove yourself from that situation. Also, we've come to realize, or I have come to realize, that a lot of the times I need to get to know myself better, and to know how I seep in, or how I take in energy and reactions, and how I deal with certain things. And that has really helped me to decide the spaces I want to be in, the spaces I don't want to be, what I want to tolerate, what I don't want to tolerate, how I want to do things, and how I react to things. So I would say that your mental health and well-being is important, be it meditation, or you just want to, or you can afford therapy, do it. The final thing I want to talk about when it comes to reparenting yourself, and this is something that I've been thinking about lately, And that is, and now let me tell you the origin of that actually. So we all do know that it's important to learn from adults and people who are older from us. Some of them who are older than us, some of them have experiences that we know and admire, or some of them have stories that they've shared with us that we know they, or of experiences they've gone through that we would like to learn from. But generally, I never thought hard about this until I followed this particular creator on social media, and I realized that they were talking about subjects that I value. And for example, education. I value education. I value self improvement a lot. So I followed this creator, and this creator is older than me, at least 12, 15 years older than me. And I have found that whatever it is that they're sharing is gold. Like, I really appreciate it, and I'm beginning to think about the idea of making friends with people who are older than me, so women who are older than me. I'm not just saying having that auntie or that mentor that once in a while you talk to. I'm talking about just becoming friends with older people, like becoming friends with a woman who's had a lot more experience than you. And I'm not just saying anyone, because I know some people are not really there and you don't want to take that path, but just having conversations with people who are older opens your mind up, because again, they have gone through a lot. They've gotten to a point where they don't really care much in terms of care about what people say about them and all of that. So they are bold, so we want to learn from them. I want to say, I think the next thing I want to talk about is briefly touch on a person that I have read and how they parented themselves, and that is Oprah Winfrey. I did find a lot of useful information about how she self-educated herself and all of the self-work she does in terms of manifestation, in terms of affirmations, and everything that it is that she's tapped into. And to an extent, we can talk about how she has reparented herself in a way, and a lot of people have had to do this. And as an adult, it is not your responsibility to sit down and blame people. You can't sit down and blame people. They have done what they did to you. It is not your fault, but at this point it is your responsibility to reparent yourself, to become that parent you've always wanted to yourself. So I hope that this has been useful. I'm just going to end with this last thing that I saw on social media. It was meant to be funny to a lot of people, but it makes sense. The creator, no, when I saw it, it's like some kind of, it's a meme actually. And then the person said, when you get to about 30-ish, you don't blame your ancestors. You are the ancestor, something of that sort. So you don't blame your parents and whoever did whatever to you. You are the one. Do I believe that it's entirely right? No, but I see the logic in that. The reason I say I do not believe it's entirely right is that no matter what we do, there are some people whose parents have set things for them. There are some people whose parents have set, like, be it finances, be it strong values, be it networks. Like, some people's parents have really set things up for them. So it's hard for some of us to catch up, right? So if you did not come from a wealthy background, or you did not come from a background which exposed to certain rooms and all of that, it's so different. But then again, to an extent, I see the sense in that, because there's really nothing you can do to control that. What we can do at this point is to be our best self and push ourselves forward. So I hope this has been useful to you. I said I was going to give you something. I haven't forgotten. My gift to you, right, is something, and I don't know why I'm getting a bit emotional about it right now. It's something I created about 6-7 years ago, and I have revised it, but I haven't really done a lot of revision to it because it's so good. It's a 7-day self-improvement challenge, right? And the reason I got a bit emotional was because I was thinking about how young I was at the time. I mean, I was about 6 years younger, and I was able to put together such a beautiful resource, which today is still really good. I am going to share with you the 7-day self-improvement workbook for free. I may sell it at some point, maybe not, but for now it is for free for my followers, my loyal followers, and my family here on social media. So the 7 day self-improvement challenge workbook presents you a 7 day self-improvement challenge, and this challenge is something that you do. It shows you practical things that you do, from your self-care to just taking up stuff, like whether it's your physical care, health, whether it's a mental health. It just really guides you. And then there's a part where you take notes. It's really good. It's really good. I'm not tooting my own horn. It is just really, really good, and it's something that I'm sure you would find. So where do you find this? You can find the link to it in the description of this video. And the title, what I've written there, is self-improvement workbook or self-improvement challenge. So you click on that, it takes you to a page, and then you enter your details, and then we send you the workbook. So I hope that you find it useful. If you've watched this far, please help a sister out. You know what? Because when you like this video, YouTube would recommend it to a lot of people, which means that a lot of people would find it and get the value from the book, from this video. And then the second thing is that it will help me grow this channel, and I really need your support to do that. So I wish you the best. Lots of love. Bye.